Now put your hands together for co-founder of MegaETH. Her name on X is Brother Bing, and she'll tell you why. Ladies and gentlemen, Shuyao Kong!
Okay, I realized that oops. Okay, I was gonna say the title of my presentation was a little grim, but I promise you it was a quite optimistic presentation. First of all, I want to thank the organizer for inviting me. I've heard quite a lot about Malaysia and KL, so this is my first time here. I'm looking for a recommendation to go for laksa. I'm obsessed with laksa, so if any one of you knows a good spot, I'm all ears, like literally all ears. And I actually also want to thank Victor. So Victor and I have known each other before he started Manta. We both went to Harvard together. And then he started Manta, which was really focused on privacy, zero knowledge proof. You know, they were in the Polkadot ecosystem, and then they moved to Ethereum. And I've really witnessed how the entire team navigate the crypto ups and downs, because as a founder, right, it's really difficult, especially when the market goes a little bit haywire here and there. And I've also seen how he used to build in the US, and now he comes to Southeast Asia. He has been just like telling me every single day to come to KL. That's why another reason why I'm here. And also, he has a really cute puppy called Kuma. I don't know if people know. So it was also on one of the slides. Anyway, it's like the cutest dog ever. You guys should check it out. Anyway, now on to what I'm talking about today. So the theme of my talk is why hasn't Ethereum, well, why hasn't crypto built another breakout use cases? Anyone here is new to crypto? Oh, there's one person. Okay. Anyone here uses crypto? Okay, anyone here uses crypto other than trading on centralized exchange? Anyone here uses Uniswap? Anyone here uses Aave? All right, anyone uses Polymarket? It's probably rare. I mean, are you American? No, okay. Anyone here uses OpenSea? Blur? Anyway, oh, okay. Oh, so there's a lot of like JPEG enjoyer here. Great. So I think this crowd is way more crypto native than I imagined. But there was an incident just an hour ago which made me realize that there are still very few people who use crypto native solution. So one of the volunteers was really kind enough to get me a cup of coffee. Obviously, I was asking her, like, how can I pay you, right? And then, so it turned out that she only has Grab and Pay, I don't know, one of the local fintech provider. And another volunteer, I was like, oh, can I send you crypto? Another volunteer only had a local centralized exchange where, there's no USDC or USDT, and there is XRP, which made me realize that maybe XRP has real adoption than I thought. So the point is we have a long way to go. And then I'm using this tweet because June, one of the organizers, tagged me on this tweet before my talk. And the question is from Nick, one of the investment partner at One Confirmation. And he was saying, after 15 years, why haven't we seen more breakout use cases than Coinbase, Uniswap, OpenSea, and Polymarket? So today I want to talk about this question, why hasn't crypto had breakout use cases? But more importantly, are we there to actually have breakout use cases? And also, lastly, why MegaETH, which is a protocol that I'm a co-founder of. So anyone here who disagree with me that there's stigma around crypto? Raise your hand. That there's no stigma. Interesting. What's your why do you think there's no stigma? Sorry? There is stigma. So I was asking if anyone thinks there's no stigma. Okay, so almost everyone agree. But I wanted to talk about exactly what the stigma is, because if we don't understand the stigma, we don't understand why there hasn't been breakout use case. So the first one is, I think, resonate with what Skylar talked about, right? And I summarize this as crypto is often perceived as a downside protection technology, right? When we're thinking about Bitcoin, we always think about, oh my God, the world is ending, but thank God there's Bitcoin. But the fact that we're thinking about the world is ending, and oftentimes on Twitter, you see, okay, World War III is happening and Bitcoin has to moon, right? And this is the stigma around crypto, where like only if the world is effed up, then there's crypto. Compared to AI, right? Everyone uses AI, they're like, oh my God, there's a utopia here, right? That was what Skylar said. If you use ChatGPT, you will actually understand what's the value proposition there. But it's almost like with Bitcoin or crypto sometimes, is when the world is ending, you're like, oh my God, thank God I have crypto. I think the second stigma is financial nihilism, which we're seeing more and more these days. And I had to chat GPT, by the way, financial nihilism, because I think it's an overly abused concept. It's really difficult to understand, which I think in the crypto use case is, everything doesn't matter. Like nothing matters really other than, pumping and dumping shitcoins and, launching shitcoins at this point. And I do think that's what crypto is known for, and that's what people associate crypto with. Even though in our mind, it's probably like, oh, we're overtaking the traditional financial system, but to outsiders, it is financial nihilism. And the last one is really difficult for me to bring up, but I do think it's true. It is this get-rich mentality. And the reason I put it here is I've known a lot of founders or really good friends before, and they're coming to crypto, and I would think, oh my God, these people are so smart. They must be built something that's just legendary, revolutionary, it's gonna bring crypto use cases. But it turned out that they only came in to get rich quick. So it really, and I think it's part of the reason of the first two bullet points as well. But I think as a result, you're getting a lot of bright people come into crypto rather than contributing in a meaningful way. They're coming here to do things that's, contribute to financial nihilism. And I think that lastly, the most important part is building a crypto application is freaking hard. Anyone disagree? Right? Get rich quick, maybe in the last few years was easy, but even nowadays, it's really difficult. Like if you are doing like pump.fun, right? Everyone like kind of knows about it. But even nowadays, like everyone is iterating on pop.fun, and it's just the meta is not there anymore. So crypto moves really fast, but then everyone seems to circle jerking in the same category, which is around financial nihilism. So why is it so hard? I think the biggest reason is there is like almost a lack of imagination in crypto. Right? Everyone knows the value proposition of Bitcoin, maybe some of Ethereum, but so what? What's next is extremely difficult to identify. And I think the second reason is there is a cat and mouse race here, which is, this idea between you have a breakout application and you realize the infrastructure is not there. The infrastructure is there, but then you don't have any application. So the infra and app dilemma has always been there. And really, no one has, it is a feature of our industry, but it's very easy to blame infrastructure, right? When the apps is not there, and then blame apps when the infrastructure is there. So are we ready now? I actually do think so. I think Ethereum has never been better than today, and I think I've never been more optimistic than today. I think L2s are scaling. The wallet is getting better and better. I used to run BD at Consensus, which cover MetaMask. Anyone here uses MetaMask? Anyone here likes MetaMask? I used to. What do you use now? Rabi? Okay, Rabi is fantastic, yes. I mean, thank God there's Rabi, right? Like the wallet stack is improving. But if I look at what MetaMask looked like 7 years ago, which is when I first joined Consensus, to till now, there is a big improvement. And it's way more usable than before, right? And lastly, I think we are getting much better on and off-ramp solution. So I think the cat and mouse race, the infra app race in crypto is actually getting a lot better. I think the infrastructure is definitely here. And I think the last reason why we are ready is because we have amazing builders. Like people, all of you guys are still here is a testimony that Ethereum is very much alive and kicking, and everybody is iterating. And as I mentioned before, I think the real struggle is none of the stigma, blah, 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 whatsoever. The real struggle is why crypto? Like, what do we use crypto for other than the very obvious? And here I offer two perspectives. I think the first one, it is shifting economic power. So I joined crypto in 2017. And the reason I joined Ethereum was I used to live in Africa for 2 years. And anyone here visited Africa? Have lived there? Okay, no one. So when I first moved to Nigeria in 2013, I experienced a really bad currency depreciation. So it's like you wake up one day and you realize you lost like 20% of your saving. You're like, what the heck is going on? I've done nothing wrong. And then quickly you realize that most of the poverty in the world is caused by human. It's not caused by nature, it's not caused by aliens. It's basically caused by, sometimes it's the government, sometimes it's people in power. So it was a really rude awakening to make me realize that crypto has to exist. And crypto exists because you have an open, permissionless ledger, an ecosystem, a community to shift economic power. So you're no longer under the control of people who have vast power over, like, what's the price of the rice you're eating today. So that has left a really big impact on me. And I think that's, at the end of the day, why everyone here is building and is building on Ethereum. I think the second reason is I do think that the act of working in crypto, in blockchain and building is about building a new world. And what does this really mean? So in a physical world, it is, for example, coming to ETHKL. It is going to DevCon. It is going to one of the Zuzalu, right? For example, MegaETH and EigenLayer, we're also hosting a little Zuzalu in Chiang Mai. It's called MegaZoo. And the focus of that is just building application, right? There's no, actually zero intellectual conversation. It's just shipping code. So that's the physical world of world building. I also think there is an element of online world building. Like, we're all first internet friends, and then we became real life friends. But think about a world building in a way more cypherpunk way, right? Think about autonomous world. Think about having an open ledger where you can write smart contracts, and then you have instant liquidity come in from all over the world. So the second perspective, I think, of why crypto is allowing people to contribute to build a new world. So now, let me talk a little bit of what is the role of MegaETH here. So first of all, what is MegaETH? MegaETH is the first real-time blockchain, right? I can tell you all about TPS, and no one should care about TPS, because TPS is a measurement of utilization rather than capability. What really differentiates MegaETH is our latency. So we have 1 to 10 millisecond latency, which compared to other blockchain is just significantly lower. So for example, people oftentimes compare us with Solana. Solana has 400 millisecond latency. We have 10 millisecond latency. So you know who's winning here. Ethereum is winning here. But let me talk a bit of our team. So we are a team of people who love low latency data center compute, and we love blockchain ethos as well. So Elon, my co-founder, studied low latency data center compute at Stanford for 6 years. Lei studied basically blockchain at MIT for 6 years. He's also the co-author of the super famous data availability paper with Shuyao from EigenLayer. Myself, I used to run BDI Consensus for 6 years. Namek used to be a prop trader and VC bro before he turned into a builder. So MegaETH really innovates at the final frontier of blockchain performance. Why am I saying final frontier? So there are so many layer 2s, right? And we're not here to build another layer 2. What we're building is something that will contribute back to Ethereum. So far, most of the layer 2 have been innovating on the consensus and data availability part, whether it's optimistic proof or ZK proof. But no one has been optimizing on the sequencer part, which is the execution layer. And that is our specialty. And I'm going to walk you through a very little cute graph to make you understand what is our technical secret sauce. So there is a fundamental trade-off between decentralization and the beefiness of your hardware, right? This is just like law of physics, this line here. So the beefier your node is, the less decentralized you are. That's why home stakers are extremely important. So think about this little rabbit, right? This skinny rabbit, which is skinny, so it jumps around. It's very decentralized, right, because it's skinny. But what happens is that it's not performant enough. It's tiny, right? So it's very low on the hardware requirement, very high on the decentralization. This is Ethereum. And here you have a really fat bunny. It's very powerful. It can do a lot of work sitting there. but it's not decentralized, right? Not a lot of people can afford the beefy, fat bunny. Think about this as a Solana. So what MegaETH does is, why choose when you can have a variation of bunnies? So for MegaETH, our validating node is extremely jumpy, skinny. It's like the Ethereum validating node. And then our sequencer is as fat as a Solana sequencer, which is why a lot of people call MegaETH the real Solana, right? Because if you want to be performant, you might as well be performant and still using Ethereum security. Why do you want to build another layer 2 that's performant but extremely centralized? It's just an AWS. And this is what we call node specialization. So now after talking about MegaETH, after talking about why we haven't seen crypto applications, and what is MegaETH here, I want us to unleash our creativity and think about what use cases can we build on top of MegaETH using Ethereum security. Anyone here uses VPN? If you don't, I feel like you should not be here anyway. Or actually, if you didn't raise your hand, I think you're lying, because everyone should be using VPN. So right now, the 6 largest VPN providers is controlled by 2 companies. They are being sued by nation state actively for millions of dollars every single year. You know why they're being sued? Because they're selling your data. But then Web3 VPN, which has been attempted many times during the 2017 ICO era, none of them took off. Why? Because no one wants to use a buggy VPN for sake of privacy, right? Users don't want to use anything that's not performant. But then on MegaETH, we can actually, for the first time, have a decentralized VPN that protects your data while as being performant as Web2 VPN. How so? The reason is our latency. Because we have 1 millisecond latency, so you're able to harness a decentralized node network, allows traffic to jump between different nodes, and without sacrificing your performance because of the latency is so low. And the second use case is fully on-chain Minecraft. Anyone here plays Minecraft? Or your children play Minecraft? Okay, your kid plays Minecraft. You play, you're the kid. When I met this team, I was like, I've never played Minecraft, right? I grew up in China. My parents just would not allow me to play any game. So I didn't understand the reason. And also, why does it have to be on-chain? Is this like one of those GameFi scams? But the more I got to know the team and saw the product, I realized that this is the world building I'm talking about in my second bullet point, is that you are creating a permissionless open world where anyone can write a smart contract to do things. So for example, if Victor here has a bank on the Minecraft, what am I gonna do? I'm incentivized to raid his bank, right? Like I would want to get his gold out of it. What is he gonna do? He's gonna hire an army to protect his bank. And then all of a sudden, you're creating interaction on-chain that is permissionless, that anyone can contribute to. I think that is the most crypto use case that extremely undervalued. And this is the autonomous world that I think is unique to Ethereum. Like Solana people would never be creative to think about autonomous world. I'm sorry. Like the casino there is good, but they cannot be cypherpunk as us. And lastly, everyone uses centralized exchange. I don't think people use it because they like it. Like, if there is a better experience on decentralized exchange, everyone would use it. But the reason why decentralized exchanges are bad because of capital efficiency. On MegaETH, because we have millisecond latency, for the first time you can have high-frequency trading, which means market maker can start making experience better and pricing better. And this is only possible on MegaETH. So all the past 3 use cases are only possible on MegaETH, and this is the reason why we build a layer 2, and we're not here just to build another infrastructure, right? We're here to build use cases along with the infrastructure. So you probably heard me keep mentioning we're the first real-time blockchain. What is real-time blockchain, right? The definition is that the blockchain continuously streams massive volume transaction, offering users near instant feedback and confirmation. And this is very important because our thesis at MegaETH is that Web3 applications are not just as good as Web2. Web3 application must be much better than Web2 application. That's why we're here. If we're just building Web2 application, what's the point, right? Web3 applications are better because we have inherent peer-to-peer network and there is crypto-native primitives that allows everyone to shift the economic power. But I want that to sink in. Web3 applications are better than Web2 applications. So lastly, people often ask me, what is MegaETH stand for? What's Mega? Truth to be told, in the beginning, we were thinking Mega is 10 to the 6, so it's a very powerful roll-up. And then one of our investors was like, oh, wait, hang on, Mega is make Ethereum great again. Right? It literally stands for that. And I realized the Wi-Fi password in ETHKL is also make Ethereum great again. And I would here to say something like, I think Ethereum is great already. I do think that Ethereum has gone through scaling pain, and we have gone through a void of imagination. But I think the infrastructure here is ready, and we have to dream bigger. And the only reason we can dream bigger because we have to believe that Web3 applications are better than Web2. We're not here to replicate, we're here to innovate. I think Ethereum people are inventors. Every other ecosystem are innovators, but at Ethereum we invent. So anyway, thank you for having me. I'm a bit over time. Here, I can more than happy to answer any question later on, but I'm here all day. Thank you, guys.
Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause for Shuyao Kong.